Alright, before you do anything, I just wanted to tell you guys that you should always disconnect your battery before disconnecting any cables. And second, after this clip ends, the next clip is going to basically go over and do a recap of what bolts are holding the dash. After that, it's just all the steps you should take. So guys, enjoy the video. Hope you like it.
Alright, just a quick recap of what bolts are actually holding in the dashboard. You have one there, one here. Now inside here, there's going to be one holding it in right there, that one. And then on this side, it's going to be one right there. And then two holding in the hood latch release. You got to take that off. And then on this side you have one right there, and then on the bottom you have another one there. You're gonna have to take off the glove box thing because this one is actually holding on to the crash bar that's inside the car. And that's pretty much all the bolts that are holding in this dash inside your car, I believe. But yep, and that's how you take off a dashboard out of a 240. Like and subscribe, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Alright, so a couple of things. I've already taken off the center console. What holds it in is that you have to pop off the shifter boot and the shift knob, take that out, and then pop it off. The little plastic piece, and then two screws here. And then when you open the lid, there's going to be two screws that hold on to here. And that should let you take this out if you have power mirrors. It's this one actually. Unplug that first and then you'll be able to take it out. I actually don't know what this is for. I know some SE models had seat warmers, but mine didn't have the buttons on it, so I still want to figure out what that is for. I'm not sure. If you're wondering how you take this part off, there's two clips on the bottom. You just pop those out. Unclip the hazards, the defroster, and mine has the little security light, so I unclip that. At this point, you're gonna want to take off this piece, and by taking this out, you're only gonna take one and two, and then this should just slide out. It's just the outer frame, not the whole thing. There's nothing holding it on top. Let me take that off and we'll continue. Alright, after you undo these two, there's actually one more in here. And then when you're able to take this part off, don't forget, and just be careful with all the cables, to unplug your cigarette lighter with the light. Let me unplug that and then move this out the way. Okay, after taking the radio bezel out and unplugging the cigarette lighter, you've already taken one of these screws out and one of the other screws out for the radio bracket, so all the other screws are up here, which is 1 and 2, and you should be able to pop out your radio, disconnect it, and then we'll move on to the AC, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Pop this out, disconnect the cables, and then we'll move on to over here. Alright, so all the screws are out, so I'll just pop this out and then disconnect the cables. All the screws are actually identical. So I got my bag here labeled the radio bracket screws that will screw in the radio bracket as well as the bezel. And for the AC, I think they might be the same, but just in case, I have my other AC bag. Alright, so I just wanted to show you the dash bar, or I honestly don't know what it's called, but it only seems like it has like light surface rust, because the other parts look okay. Usually the videos I've seen, and they're all like pretty messed up. But like I've been saying, we're gonna do this part. It's held on by 4 screws right here. I actually never noticed these. Those are just holes, because usually how I take this off is one here, one there, same thing on the other side. Make sure you have a long screwdriver, and then we'll go on to the cluster. Alright, got all 4 screws out. Now there's just one piece here, and the bottom piece should come off pretty easily, unless I will have to get to those 2 screws underneath. Yep, it looks like it's held on by 2 more other screws. And then, yeah, let me take those out then. Alright, by taking this off, there's 2 screws here, and then this would just pop off. One thing I would suggest is like lowering this down as much as possible, and then when you're taking it off, just make sure this doesn't get in the way, and put your turn signal all the way down and put your wipers all the way down so they don't get in the way. Once you pop it off, unclip this and unclip this if you even have cruise control. And then after you get in there, you'll see the 3 screws. Once that's out, we'll pop it out. Alright, so what holds that part in is basically 2 clips on each side. Just be very careful when you take it out. You might have to squeeze the top a little bit to force it out. And then this is the cruise control clip, and then this is the dimmer clip that goes separate. And then what holds the cluster actually is 1, 2, and 3, and that's it. Alright, to take off the cluster, I took off all 3 of them, and now I'm looking at the wiring just to keep it memorized. The bottom one over here has 3 on top and 3 on the bottom. The top one has 2 and then 2, and then this one has 3 on one side and then 2 on the other. The other cable over here is just the black cable, and that one's gonna go all the way to the end. My airbag light is all covered in tape because I have no airbag in the front, so that's just covered so no annoying blinking can get in the way. And then one of the bolts that hold the dash in is right over there. That's one. I don't think anything holds it on that side, just so people know. Alright guys, next part is to take this thing off. It goes all the way around the dash to get to 2 bolts that are like around here and then one on the other side. And to help me do that, I actually went on Amazon. I'll put the link below to that to this product. It comes with 5 different tools. I'm gonna see which one I'll use and which one actually works better than the other ones to actually take this off. The clips are gonna be in the front part to lift up. We'll see how it goes. Alright guys, so it's finally off, and yes, there's only 2 bolts, one there and then the other one on the other side. But I just want to let you guys know, I'll use this one, the smallest one. But to be honest, give it a try, I guess. But comment below if you've ever taken one of these off without it breaking, because it is impossible to take this off without breaking it.
Alright, your glove box is actually held on by 2 screws that are on the bottom. After you take off your glove box, you're going to see that this bracket you're going to have to take off. And it's held on by 2 screws on the bottom and 2 bolts on the top. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention is that take off your pillars from the driver and passenger side, and also take off the kick panels from the bottom passenger side and bottom driver side, so you can have access to the bottom bolts. Also, you'll need to lower down your steering column, which is held on by 2 12mm bolts.
Holy macaronico! Holy macaronico!
Alright, you probably already seen me explain everything about the dash, but one key factor, if you guys are taking apart everything, 2 things are going to happen. One, your alternator is not going to charge your battery. Without the cluster being connected to the wiring inside, your alternator will not work. Heads up, because I went out and bought a new alternator thinking it was that, and then I found this form. Basically, just have your cluster in. Second, your turn signals won't work either unless you have your hazard button connected. That's why your turn signals might not work. Just those key things. And in case you have a rattle in your car and you think, oh, maybe I'll just change out the motor mounts or something, it could just be this, even though the dash kind of pushes on this. But make sure you put like foam or something to keep that from making so much noise. It also comes from here, but it could be from these things that I have just laying on there. But yeah guys, just a heads up.